Facebook Live, we have arrived. One more time, y'all. Let's get it in. Excuse me, man. I ain't even ready. Here I go. Take this off.
Conference muted.
Wow.
Conference recording started.
I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is Watchman Derek Yahuda Israel, also known as Pastor Derek, on the evening scripture study on this 24th day in October 2022. Boy, I'm going to get an allergy attack as soon as I chime in, right? But it's good. Danielle, good to see you, young lady. Maddie Yahoo, great Bible study a little while ago, sir. Mother Katie. Ervatov. Sneeze. Woo! Let's see who that is. I'm teaching, bro. I didn't mean to call you. I'm teaching right now. Mark Logan, good to see you in here. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Mother Katie. Let's open up in prayer, huh? Let me see here. Nicole Bell, good to see you in here. What am I going to teach, y'all? You know what, Matty Yahoo? Maybe I'll touch on what we were just talking about. Let me see. Does that agree with my ruach? Yeah. I'd like to deal with Romans, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, why not? Q, what it do, man? Good to see you in here. Yeah, I think we'll deal with Romans, the 3rd chapter. Why not? For sure. So let me go to it. Romans 3, y'all. All of a sudden I get attacked, right? Don't do nothing. I'm still gonna do my job. Is that Big Sean in here? Is that Big Sean? Who is that? Is that Big Sean? Hallelujah. Tia. Good to see you in here. What you been up to, Tia? Let me see. Who is that? Okay. Good to see Maria in here. Al Mal in here as well. Hallelujah. Yeah. Let's go to I want to teach. We'll see. But look, we're gonna go to Romans, the 3rd chapter, and I guess we'll begin at the both of the babies got the flu, or you do too? Romans 3. Again, Spirit of the Most High, bless your children. We're before you because we love you. Dispatch your angel text about to keep us safe. And continue to illuminate us. Wake us up to your righteousness even the more. And we'll be careful to give you the praise and honor, not only now but forever. In the Master's name, Yahushua, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Yahuwah. And Amen. Okay, well, you be prayed up. Take you some vitamins and herbs as if you got the flu, and that can help. If you medicate yourself while you with the babies, as if you had the flu, then that'll stop you from getting it. But we always depending on y'all, right? Look what it say. I want y'all to see this. It says, what advantage then have the Yahudim, or the Jew, right? What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yah. To break that down, right? What advantage of it is being the Yahudim, right? Judah. And what profit is it of circumcision? I could argue and say that Jeff Brown, good to see you in here, sir. Jeff, did you send me another friend's request from another page you got? Because there's a friend's request from you, but it's from another page. Did you do that, or is that somebody trying to get me, trying to hack me? While you answer that, okay, cool. Then I'm gonna answer it. Then I'm gonna accept it. See, yeah, I wasn't gonna accept it. Okay, I'll accept it. Okay, but I can argue, what advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision in the flesh, right? In the flesh, I can argue to a certain extent there is no advantage. I could argue that. But that wasn't his point. You got to read the second verse in order to understand his point. Amon Bell, good to see you in here, Pastor Bell. Y'all with me? What advantage then hath the Jew? That's a question, not a statement. Or what profit is there of circumcision? That's a statement. If I just ran with it like it's a statement, that's one thing, but it's not a statement, it's a question. So he answers the question to qualify why he said that. Does that make sense? Frank, good to see you in here, man. We're in Romans 3:1. What advantage then hath the Jew? That's a question. What is the advantage of being a Jew? Yahudim. Or what profit is there of circumcision? That's not saying I need to go be circumcised, but what profit is it of being a Jew, and what profit is it of being circumcised, right? Much in every way. Chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yah. So what he's saying here, Don Deems, good to see you in here. What he's saying then is you can't discount them. You can't discount them because we walk in the Ruach now. You can't discount Judah. You can't even discount Israel, the northern kingdom. You can't discount the northern kingdom or the southern kingdom. Why? Because those are Yah's chosen children, and he gave them the oracles, the responsibility to carry the word. Leslie Sutton, good to see you in here. We're in Romans 3, starting at the first verse. Are y'all with me? In other words, he's arguing something. He's trying to prove something. And he's actually separating the Jew from the Gentile. Right? He's letting you know that the oracles was given to the Jews, not even to the northern kingdom. The oracles wasn't given to the 10 tribes of Israel. It was given to the 2 tribes of Israel, including some of the Levitical priesthood. But it was given to the 2 tribes, Judah. That's who it was given to. Salvation came through Judah. The Messiah was born of Judah. And for that, we got to give them their props. In fact, we can give props to all 12 because they Yah's chosen children, and that's the nation of people by whom salvation came through them. So what advantage then have it, then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much at every way, chiefly, mainly because unto them were committed the oracles of Yah. For what if some did not believe? Right? And that unbelief really said, for what if some is unfaithful? What if some is not obeying the word? Should I make the word not true? Should I make the oracles of Yah useless? Yah gave the word to Israel. And say the majority of them didn't keep it, didn't do it. Did that make what he said worthless, useless? Huh? Yah forbid, the 4th verse says. No, what Yah said is true. In fact, what Yah said even on stone is true. His word on stone is still true. The 10 Commandments is right. Torah is right, period. Yah forbid, yeah, let Yah be true. Yah is his word. In the beginning was the word was with Yah, the word was Yah. Yah is true. His word is true. Real talk, Danielle. Let Yah be true, but every man a liar, because we was all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. We gotta be born again to even deal with him on some real stuff. We got to come anew because our old nature is cursed. Humanity is cursed. We got to come anew. Right? Yah forbid, let Yah be true, but every man, not some, every. We were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Let every man be a liar. As it is written that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Are y'all with me? So the 5th verse then says, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah. He getting deep now. If our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, what shall we say? Is Yah unrighteous who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. You know what that's saying? That's saying if this garbage that these people preach, right? Listen to me. Brianna, good to see you in here. We're in Romans 3 and 4 now. Latricia Johnson, good to see you in here. Real talk, Danielle. Well, look what this say, right? It say, but if our unrighteous commend the righteousness of Yah, meaning if me being a sinner commends the righteousness of Yah, if me being a sinner shows his grace and his mercy, this Catholicism at its finest. Good to see you in, Denise Wilkins and Titus, Nero. Good to see y'all in here. We're in Romans 3 and 5 now. I want y'all to get this. But if our unrighteousness, right? Yeah, you late. As usual, Brianna. But look what it say. But if our unrighteousness, listen. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, what shall we say? Is Yah unrighteous who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. Okay, so he posed the argument, right? And the argument is, if the Most High is glorified through me being a sinner, then why is he judging me? Because what Catholicism teaches that we're sinners saved by grace, and we're such sinners that he's glorified through us being sinners. It shows his mercy. Pastor Young, we in it deep now. Good to see you in here, Pastor. We're in Romans 3. We're attempting to break it down on a whole nother level, sir. Tara Banks, good to see you in here. We in the 5th verse, in the meat of it. Pull up a chair, sir. Bless you. But the 5th verse said, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, if what the average Christian teaching or Catholicism teaches, listen, exactly, Danielle. But if our unrighteous, if I'm a sinner and Yah is glorified because I'm a sinner, and I'm just going to heaven. I'm a sinner saved by grace, right? Then why is he judging me for sin? Why would he do that when this is his plan of salvation? This is his plan of salvation. This is what he's saying. But if our unrighteousness, I'm a sinner, unrighteousness, commend, me being a sinner shows how good he is, how merciful he is. He get to praise because he's so merciful, because I'm so scandalous, but yet I have salvation. I completed his mission. I'm this sinner saved by grace. Listen, Dimitri Hightower, good to see you in here. Romans 3 and 5, right? I'm this wicked sinner, but I'm saved, and so he gets the glory because I'm saved. He gonna overlook my sins, right? And I'm going straight to heaven. Then why am I being judged? Why is he taking vengeance on me? See, I speak as a man. This is a man's argument, right? So then the 6th verse then says, Yah forbid. He said, that ain't, nope. For then how shall Yah judge the world? He being sarcastic. He said, how in the world is Yah going to judge the world of sin if he's glorified through our sin? How is he going to judge the world for something that bring him glory? Me being a sinner. Sinner saved by grace. How he going to judge something that glorifies him? That makes him look good. That makes him feel good. Mission accomplished. You a sinner. You sinning. And I'm the big guy. I'm saving you, though you wicked as I don't know what. This is what this really saying. Yah forbid. For then how shall Yah judge the world? That means he wouldn't be able to judge the world if he's loving it, if he's glorified by it, if this is his will for your life. What? Being a sinner is his will for your life? That's what the average Christian teach. That's what they believe. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. That's what they think that means. Get back to the rugged cross. I'm back at the rugged cross, saving a sinner. We all miserable sinners. Preacher up there say, I'm a sinner just like y'all. That's what the preacher say. I ain't no different from y'all. Well, Joker, you need to come on down then. And we need to put an ad on Craigslist to find us a pastor. Come on down out of there. No, they clap. They clap. Listen what he said. 6 verse. He said, Yah forbid, which means no. Listen. Well, then how shall Yah judge the world? He wouldn't be able to. If he glorify, if his will for your life is you a sinner, saved by grace, you a sinner, but yet you saved. You still living in sin, but you saved, right? Then how he gonna judge sin? He can't. That he tied his own hands. How's he gonna show vengeance? How's he gonna take vengeance on the unrighteous when he's glorified by you being unrighteous? You got salvation, though you're unrighteous. You got eternal life, though you're unrighteous. You walk in disobedience. You don't do nothing he say. You don't obey, but yet you saved. This is what these jokers teach. This is the majority of Christendom. This is what we've been. This is what they beat into us because we was under Torah, and they beat us into to this way of belief. Are y'all with me? Now brace yourself, Pastor. You know I love you. But they during the Renaissance period, they took all the artifacts out and they switched the game and they whited it out. They jacked us for identity and they whited it out. And they wrote and they painted this picture, Caesar Borgia. They came up with a new picture, a new look, a new image, and a new name. It's the truth anyway. Came up with a new name, a transliteration of a transliteration of a transliteration, and that third transliteration ended up with an I that they changed to a J, and then they changed the pronunciation of the J, and we ended up with Jesus. It's just the truth. But I do thank him for, again, Psalms 138 and 2, that he exalts his word over his name, whether you know his name or not, long as you obey in his word. But we living in the time, I'm going to explain it. We living in the time that we're in the real Egypt that did the real 400 years, not the shadow type Egypt, to whereas they didn't serve 400 years to satisfy the prophetic dream of Abraham in Genesis, the 15th chapter. That wasn't satisfied. It got satisfied in 2019 when the world had to acknowledge the fact that we just served the 400 years. And in the shadow versus the real 400 is now on the scene. So now we look back at the shadow to see that Moses had to go in Midian to meet the Most High at the burning bush. And then the Most High then revealed to him his true name. So he brought his true name into Egypt to prepare them for the deliverance. Then he went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go, because he gave them his real name. Yolanda Adams, good to see you in here. We in Romans, the 3rd chapter, in the 5th verse. Pull up a chair. Love you. Are y'all with me? So the shadow Egypt is now satisfied in the real Egypt. When in God we trust, the Babylonian deity of fortune, with the pyramid on the back of the money, with the all-seeing eye of Hasatan and Horus that they stole from Egypt. Because this is Egypt. That's where they got the eye from. All-seeing eye of Horus, which is really something they stole from Nimrod and Semiramis and Nimrod, Semiramis and the original Trinity and Tammuz. And they stole it and took it to Egypt. Right? So in the shadow, it's the Old Testament Torah, Tanakh is shadows and types, but the real thing hit the scene. Prophetic. It's a forecast of what's really going to happen. Well, the real stuff, we just served it, 400. And we're on the other side of that. So now that we're on the other side, now he said, let my people go, and he revealed his name. The great waking up, the great awakening is happening now, and we done woke up to who we are and whose we are. And even these sellout celebrities are saying it. The Kanye Wests of the world and all them. The what's that boy name that they made him take it back? Wildin' Out. What's his name? Nick Cannon. Anytime somebody came for it, they smacked around. Anything you say about anything about them, they smacked around Oprah. Not Oprah. I think they might have got her too though. But they definitely got Whoopi Goldberg when she said something about it. You can't say nothing about them when you got their money in your pocket. They coming for you. Yeah. Them people. Right. But the world, the cat is out the bag. We the people of the book. It's proven over and over and over and over again. So now you got to realize what time it is. What time is it? It is, we served the 400. And when it was time for in the first Egypt, it was time for them to be let go. So he gave his name to Moses and sent him to Pharaoh to say, let my people go. right? They didn't leave right then. I keep telling y'all that. I'm going to be redundant until you get it. But they didn't leave right then. They had to stay for the 10 plagues. And just like all through the Bible, when he said his children was going to wake up in the land of captivity, ironically, after the 400 was served. But we waking up as a nation of people. Folks is coming out of the Catholicism. They coming out that fake church stuff, right? They waking up. He's giving them his true name. If my people, what you call by my name, Obadiah, Jeremiah, Zechariah, Nehemiah, Zephaniah, Yah. Slaves in 1920s had a song out, Kumbaya. Biggest praise in church, hallelujah. That's why his name is Yahusha. Yah is salvation. But who gave him the right to change his name in the first place? We in the land of captivity. Catholicism. Beat us into being Christians. Are y'all with me? Listen. So now we left the shadow. We in the real thing. His name is coming out. The fake picture is being burnt and taken down. And now we waking up. Listen. The biggest problem then is not the picture. That's not it. The biggest problem isn't the name, because he's revealing his name right now. Raphael, good to see you in here. We're in Romans 8 and 5. One of the biggest problems is the theological position that they got us in. Sinners saved by grace. And Shaul, Paul is eating it for breakfast right here. But if our unrighteousness, listen, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, if me being a sinner glorifies him, and that's his plan of salvation, right? Then why am I being judged? Why is he taking vengeance on sinners? If his end game is I'm a sinner, but yet I got salvation, then who he gonna get? He handing out salvation to sinners? What, he gonna hand out vengeance to sinners too? Which one is he gonna do? He gonna give you eternal life, or he gonna give you damnation? He gonna take his wrath out on you. Which one is it? This is what he's saying. Which one is it? So then in the 6th verse, he then concludes, Yah forbid. Nah, that ain't true. They lied to us. That's what Jude was talking about, turning the grace of Yah into lasciviousness. They slipped us a Mickey and believe we supposed to be running around here sinning and going against him, and we still saved because of the rugged cross. That's what they want us to believe. When the truth of the matter is, the screw-offs, the torture stake the tree died on is what set us free from sin. And true grace is giving us the power to become an ex-sinner. Not a current sinner, ex-sinner. Because by his power that gives us the ability to start living right. It's the answer to Jeremiah 31 through 34. The answer of Jeremiah 31 through 34, the answer to that is that the word that was on stone is now written on the tables of our heart, and now we're led by his ruah, his spirit, and we walk in obedience. We're not the children of disobedience no more. That's what true grace is. But now I'm going to go back to Catholicism, and let's finish dealing with it from Paul's standpoint. Listen. But if our unrighteousness, the 5th verse, y'all, if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, is the completion of salvation. Listen, what shall we say? Is Yah unrighteous who taking vengeance? I speak as a man. Is he wrong for taking vengeance? Speaking as a man, I'd say he would be. That's why he fixed it in the 6th verse and said, Yah forbid. For then how shall Yah judge the world? He wouldn't be able to. How he gonna judge me as a sinner and I'm a saved sinner? How he gonna judge me as a sinner? He can't judge me for sin. He saved me for sin. Let them tell it. The crap we was taught since we've been kidnapped. Shoved Easter down our throat. Shoved Halloween down our throat. Shoved Christmas down our throat. That's what they did. And we so far removed from truth, so far removed from what Yah made us to be. It's a part of our punishment, but we so far removed, we need to move back. You want to know how to move back? Jeremiah 31 through 34. I'll read it again. I don't mind. We're gonna get this until we get it. Let's go to Jeremiah right quick. We're going to get it till we get it. I got some patience with it. I got a job to do. We're going to get it until we get it. Jeremiah 31. Yeah. 31. Come on, let's get it. 31. Where's it at? Let me pull this keyboard over so I can see. 31 through 34. Yeah, let's get it. Look what it's at. Behold, the day is coming, says Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharel, with the house of Judah. Yahudah. I will make a new one. What's the difference between the old and the new? Let's keep reading and see. Not according to the covenant I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and brought them out of the land of Egypt, which my commandment they break. They didn't keep it. They couldn't. Because we was all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. They couldn't and they didn't. Period. They broke it. Although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahuwah. I didn't do nothing wrong to them. They turned on me. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharel after those days. After what days? There's a debate on what's after those days is. Okay, whatever. We'll deal with it. Look what it say. 33. But this shall be the covenant that I'll make with the house of Yasharel after those days, says Yahuwah. After what day? When the word was made flesh and dwelt among us? Is that when? After those days, after he died on the tree for you and me? Huh? I will put my law in their inward parts. Ruach HaKodesh. His spirit being baptized inside of. I will put my law in their inward parts. That's why John 6 and 63 say, it's the spirit that quickeneth, and quickeneth me make you alive. It lets you know it's the spirit that makes us alive. The flesh profits nothing. Get the flesh out of here. You were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Man is rejected. So go on with how you see it, what it smell like, taste like, sound like, and feel like to you. Get that out of here. We're led by his word now. We're reunited with his word. When he died on that tree, the veil in the temple was ripped from top to bottom. Now we got access to the word, to Yah. Reunited. That's why 2 Corinthians 5 and 16 say we don't know each other after the flesh no more. And moving forward, we don't even know the Messiah after the flesh no more. Because the body that the word was embodied, that body that was in, did its job, died on the tree for you and me, lived a perfect example, rose again with all power, then he came back without the body. We're reunited with his word. Are y'all with me? Put a 1 in there if you're with me. I don't want to lose you on the curve. Put a 1 in there if you're with me. Put a 1 in there if you're with me. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharel after those days. He tell you what covenant he gonna make. I see some 1s coming in there. That mean y'all with me. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharel after those days, said Yahuwah. Whatever the days was, he said, that's when I'm gonna put my law in their inward parts. It's not on stone no more. The stone is gone, y'all. He gonna put the word in our inward parts and write it in our hearts. I will be their Elohim and they shall be my people. Are y'all with me? And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, for every man and his brother. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know Yahuwah, for they all shall know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahuwah, for I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sins no more. When he baptized himself inside of you, you know him for yourself. Just like in Corinthians 3, When Paul was saying one planted, another water, but it's the Most High to get increase. He said, so then the planter is nothing, neither the water, but it's the Most High to get increase. I can tell you truth all you want, all I want. You ain't going to get it until he reveal it. You have to know him for yourself. Period. When we get in the wilderness, I'm going to tap dance on it, I'm going to leave. But when we in the wilderness, we're going to be tried. And he's going to destroy some folks in the wilderness before we make it back to the land, the Bible teaches, right? So that lets you know some folks in the wilderness didn't know him. But some did. Anyway, that was just some extra for extra ears. Let me keep going, y'all. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. Do you know Yah is the only one that can reveal himself to you? Did you know that? Did you know he speaks in parables? Did you know how many Bible studies? See, it's difficult for me to get away with this, but I'll get away with it. But all I'm saying to you is everyone that hear the word don't understand what they hear. Everyone talking about the word don't understand what they're saying. There's levels to this. And the levels comes from revelation. There's salvation levels going from faith to faith, right? There's levels of this. You can have a level that you receive salvation, which is cool. Real talk. Because that's the main thing. But it's way deeper levels. It's deeper levels to this. And Yah is the one that revealed. Period. Are y'all with me? Just so you know. Back to Romans 3. We still rocking, y'all. Back to 5. 3 and 5. But if our unrighteousness, sinners saved by grace, if our folks teach this, I be listening, I cringe when I hear this garbage. Oh, it just hurts me bad. But if our unrighteousness, okay, you a sinner saved by grace, and then we get that doctrine, I watch, they hopping around and dancing. Oh, I'm a filthy sinner. You better obey or you're going to be a filthy dead man. You're going to be in filthy hell. You better repent. Yeah, you should be an ex-sinner. I'm trying to tell you. Turning the grace of God. Folks of older day came in unaware. Crept in unaware. Listen. And changed the grace of Yah into lasciviousness, a platform for sin. But if our unrighteous commend the righteousness of Yah, what shall we say? Is Yah unrighteous who taketh vengeance? He would be unrighteous if he took vengeance, if his plan of salvation is for us to be a sinner saved by grace. What's going to differ us from who he take vengeance on? They a sinner, we sinners. Are you with me? You talking good, Tia. They sinning, I'm sinning. That's what the book of Romans talking about. All have sinned. That's what he was proving. His theological position was we all told, we all need to repent. And to button it up, he was talking about the 12 tribes. He talked about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And the same gate that was open for the heathen nations is the same gate still open right now. That's why in heaven, there's 12 gates for you to get in heaven, named after the 12 tribes of Israel. There is no Gentile gate. Oh, y'all ain't ready for this. Well, yes, you are. Some people ain't. Y'all ready? If you're ready, put a 2 in here. Is you ready? And the Gentiles are going to be grafted in. That's what Romans 11 chapter is talking about. You being a wild olive branch. You being a heathen nation. If you grafted, I'm trying to tell you something. Listen, well, let me go deeper. The original, the grafting in, listen. He had mercy on the northern kingdom. Listen to what I'm saying to you right now. He had mercy on the northern kingdom who he divorced. In Hosea, the book of Hosea, he divorced. He divorced the 10 tribes of Israel. He divorced them. And he had mercy on Judah. And he told Hosea to go marry a whore, right? Which reminded him of all 12 tribes. He said, but I'm going to divorce the northern kingdom. Listen what I'm saying to you. I'm divorcing. He divorced them and banished them and scattered them in the heathen nations. They became Gentiles. They became heathens. Now, the Bible speaks of the two sticks coming together. He said, I have another sheep of a different fold. He was talking to the Yahudim, Judah, about the other fold, which is the 10 tribes. So when you're dealing with Romans, the 11th chapter, you're dealing with the reconciliation of the 10 tribes as the Gentiles, as a wild olive branch that's being regrafted in. Oh, yo, that's what Peter, the 2nd chapter, was talking about? Dealing with a people that was not called a people, but now shall it be called a people? And he called them not his people in Hosea, I believe the 2nd chapter. So the Gentiles that the Bible is speaking of, that people think is the heathen nations, he's really talking about the 10 tribes, but let's go deeper. Towards the end of Romans 11 chapter, he then said, okay, he got fed up with Judah because the 10 tribes is already banished. He got fed up with Judah and turned back to the 10 tribes. That's what Paul said. Paul says, seeing you find yourself unworthy of eternal life, I'm going to the Gentiles. The Gentiles he was talking about was the heathen, what was the heathen nations, aka was the 10 tribes. Does anything I'm saying close the door on the actual heathen nation getting saved? There was always strangers that joined Israel, the 12 tribes, in the Old Testament, in Torah, in Tanakh. It's the same today. They become Israel. They're grafted in. There ain't no gate for them. The whole book is about Israel. And anyone that got some sense is going to join Israel. Because Israel is real. That's why it ain't number 12 gates. Man, it make no Gentile gate, no 13th gate. Anyway. So the 5th verse, but if our unrighteous commend the righteousness of Yah, what shall we say? Is Yah's unrighteous who taketh vengeance? He would be, but he not. Because he ain't going for your sin. Listen. Yah forbid, for then how shall Yah judge the world? He wouldn't be able to. It would be weird. You can't judge the world for sin, but yet the crew with you is doing the same thing they doing, sinning, going against you too. Nah, we got to repent. Is y'all with me? So now the 7th verse then says, what time is it? So the 7th verse then says, for if the truth of Yah hath more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why am I also judged as a sinner? They gonna be judged as a sinner because they sinning. Well, I'm not gonna be judged as a sinner, huh? Huh? If the truth of Yah have more abounded through my lie, I'm a liar, I'm a sinner, but me being a sinner glorifies him. Why am I also judged as a sinner? Why yet am I rather say? Why yet am I also judged as a sinner? Why am I being judged as a sinner and this is his will for my life and he's being glorified? Oh, I'm trying to tell you something. You better stop sinning. Listen what he's saying. So let's go deeper. 8th verse then says, and not rather as we be slanderously reported. And as some affirm that we say, they saying what I said, right? And as some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come. Whose damnation is just? Okay, so I'm doing evil that good might come. I'm making Yah look good, showing how merciful he is. Right? I'm sinning just like the rest of the heathens is sinning. Right? Right? But yeah, he gonna let me slide and get them. That don't even make no doggone sense. But he said, people are slandering me. A lot of people slander Paul because they don't understand his writings, right? They say he twisted and don't know what he's talking about. No, you twisted and don't know the word. But it's okay. Most High loves us all, and he dealing with us. And he gonna untwist us. We all started off twisted. He gonna untwist us. Through his power, his love, and his mercy, he gonna bring truth to those who have an ear to hear what the Ruach saying to the ecclesia. A first. And not rather, as we be, he called it slander. Why are you saying that I'm teaching sinners saved by grace? Why are you accusing me of preaching a Catholicized gospel? Why are you doing that? You lying on me. This is what Paul said. You're slandering me by saying that I said, let us do evil that good might come. He said, if I'm doing evil that good might come, then who damnation is just? Who damnation is justified? Mine ain't justified if he capitalizing on my wickedness. I'm saved, me and him good, even though I'm scandalous like them. Oh, that's my dude. You come over here. I'm finna kill them. Whose damnation is just? Theirs ain't just, because I'm doing the same thing, and you gonna get them and not me? That ain't just. What I say on the one, I say on the all. Jazzy and Josie, good to see you in here. Are y'all with me? We're in Romans 3 and 8. I hope y'all can get this. If y'all getting this, put a 3 in here. We're going up in numbers. Put a 3 in here if y'all understand what I'm saying. If you're having a problem understanding what I'm saying, put a 1 in here. Put a 1 in here if you don't understand what I'm saying. Put a 3 in here if you're still with me. Is it making sense? Is it making sense that what they teaching? Is it making sense? If I'm a sinner saved by grace, I'm on the altar crying out, you know how we do. We talk all that mercy stuff. You asking for mercy because you don't do nothing he say. And he telling you to obey. But then we'll take a religious position like me and Yah is good. Why? Because I'm calling on his name, bumping my gums. Well, he had a problem with that. He said they draw down to me with their mouth, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. He got a problem with me living like a devil. Right on, 5 on it. He got a problem with me living like a devil claiming his name. In fact, he said, he that name in the name of Yahuwah, let him depart from iniquity. If I'm naming his name, he say, stop sinning. Or keep my name out your mouth. Is y'all with me? Man, I need to write that down. Somebody text me, keep my name out your mouth. I'm going to preach that. I'm serious. I like that title. Somebody text that to me. I'm going to preach it. That's the plan. Somebody text me on my phone. Keep my name out your mouth. I got to preach that. Anyway, listen. One of y'all text me. 8th verse, y'all. Where we at? Romans 3 and 8. And not rather as we be slanderously reported. And as some, listen. I like it, Latricia Johnson. I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard my text. Thank you, whoever did it. And not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come. Who damnation is just if that's true? What then? Are we better than they? If we sinning, and he talked to the Jews, to Yahudim, we sinning and they sinning. The southern kingdom, we, us, and the northern kingdom, the scattered, we both sinning. Whose damnation is just? All 12 can go to hell. And I'm not cussing, because I don't cuss. Are y'all with me? Listen, what then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have been proved, both Jews and Gentile, both northern kingdom and southern kingdom, that they're all under sin. Are you with me? As it is written, there's none righteous, no, not one. They got scattered, we got shipped. The whole Bible is about Israel, y'all. You already know that? That's why they hate you so much. They don't want you to know that. They jacked you for your identity. Treat us like we bastards. They the bastards. But what they can do is be reconciled. And what we need to do for sure is be reconciled. We are the people of the book. Revelations 2:9 say, I know them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. You got some devils running around here with our clothes on. You got some devils. Luke 21 say Jerusalem will be trodden under the foot of the Gentiles. You got Japheth's children pretending to be Shem's children. Talking about anti-Semitic. They got the Semitic people talking about we anti-Semitic. Not only are they anti-Semitic, but they're liars. You ain't even Shemitic. It's Shemitic, so you know. But they lawyers, so they changed the name to protect the guilty. It says Semitic. No, it's Shemitic, okay? And we the Shemitic people. Period. They got it so whooped, we'll say they Jews and so are we. Well, they fake Jews. They the synagogue of Satan Jews. The one Revelations 2:9 was talking about. The revelation that Revelations 3:9 was talking about. That Yah, when he done with him, he gonna make them bow down to the real Shemitic people. You talking about them? You gonna call them Jews? Okay, cool. The synagogue of Satan. We talking. 10th verse, as it is written, there's none righteous, no, not one. There's none that understandeth. There's none that seeketh after Yah. They're all gone out of the way. They all together become unprofitable. There's none that doeth good, no, not one. Are y'all with me? 13th verse. Their throat is an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have used deceit, poison of abscess under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood, destruction and misery is in their ways, and the way of peace have they not known. There is no fear of Yah before their eyes. Now we know what things soever the law saith, it says to them that are under the law, that every mouth might be stopped. Listen, you want to learn how to shut your mouth? Be up under the law, because you guilty. Now we know that the things whatsoever, things soever the law saith, it says to them that are under the law. That why are they under the law? That every mouth, the whole world became guilty. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, that every mouth might be stopped, and the world may become guilty before Yah. He put, where there's no law, there's no transgression. So he put his word on stone. As soon as he put his word on stone and handed it to Moses, they handed it to the people, everybody became guilty. Because they didn't keep it. He killed them in the wilderness. Sent the children in and had to do their hair too. They got their hair done. 20th verse. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there should no flesh be justified in the sight of Yah. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. That's what it's really for. The law, his word on stone, is so you can know you're wrong. Now you know you're in need of a savior. That's it. You know you're in need to be rescued. That's it. It sure didn't come to bring you righteousness, because we wasn't made righteousness. We weren't made righteous through it. Romans 8:3, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yah sending his son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit, after the Ruach. 21, y'all. I'm going to teach. I sure wish I had my pastor friends with me. I get to teaching on this level, they leave me. I mean, come on back. I love you, man. Listen. 22nd verse. Even the righteousness of Yah, which is by faith in Yahushua HaMashiach, unto all upon them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the kabah of Yah, being justified freely by his unmerited favor through the redemption that is in Yahushua HaMashiach, we're freely justified by his word minus the stone written on the tables of our heart, which then gives us power because his word got creating power. And when you receive his word is able to create what his word said in you. Did y'all catch that? If his word said, don't fornicate, and you receive that, the power to stop fornicating is in the fact that he said it. He said, let there be light. And what happened? There was light. So the power for light was in the fact that he said, let there be light. And if he say, don't commit adultery, then the power to not to commit adultery is you receiving the fact that he said it. Because when you believe his word, the power is activated through your belief in your life. Oh, I'm talking today. Listen, 24th verse says, being justified freely by his grace, that's how, through the redemption that is in the Mashiach, whom Yah has set forth to be a propitiation. He's the ransom and the paycheck, right? Through faith in his blood. See, it's all about faith. Faith without works is dead. You bring the faith, it activates the work. The power is trusting what he say. And it's activated that the action will, I'm trying to tell you something, whom Yah has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past. Did you catch that? It's the removal of your past sins. In other words, his word came to you, right? And you received it, right? You confess with your mouth, believe in your heart, you accept the word, right? It cleansed you from all your past sins that you just confessed and repented from. You just turned from it. You received him. You were pricked in your heart. You felt bad about your former life, how you was living, up until the Besorah came, the word came. When you received the word, he forgave you for your past sin. Because moving forth, you should not serve sin. I hope y'all with me. That's the foundation class that I teach in Hebrews, the 6th chapter. Yeah. Leaving the elementary teachings of the Messiah, let us go into perfection. Not laying again a foundation of repentance from dead works. Past sins. I'm trying to teach you something. Listen. Whom Yah set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past. Is y'all, put a 5 in here if y'all with me. Real talk. We got to get 5 on it. Is y'all understand what I'm saying? When I came to him, I gave up fornication, adultery, cussing, lying, cheating, I gave it all up. Those are my past sins. Moving forward, come on, y'all. We're supposed to walk in obedience now, because if any man be the Mashiach, he's a new creation. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. I hope y'all with me. I guess y'all with me, right? All right, let's keep going. 26. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just, and to justify him that believes in Yahushua. Where's boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? What works? Nay, by the law of faith. Yeah. Faith got a law too. Therefore, we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. We don't need his word on stone, because faith has its own works. Faith is the works of faith is obedience to his word. Is he the Elohim of the Yahudim only? Is he not also of the northern kingdom as well? Yes, of the northern kingdom as well. Seeing it is one Elohim, which shall justify the circumcision by faith, and the uncircumcision, they became uncircumcised, y'all. The circumcision by faith, the Yahudim is the circumcision, and the uncircumcision is the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yah forbid. Yeah, we establish it. We establish, because his word is what we need, not the stone it was on. The stone is gone. We need his word living and written on the tables of our heart. Confess with your mouth and believe in your heart. Oh, I'm telling you, this is a spiritual thing. We done fell in love with him. We're reunited. The power. He'll shower down the power when you just be willing to walk away from sin and just trust him. Be willing to be lonely, horny, upset. lied on, treated wrong, and you just gonna hold on to his word no matter what, man, you got it made in the shade. I'm trying to tell ya, like a sunny day with a cold glass of lemonade. You got it made in the shade. On a hot day, cold glass of lemonade. Listen. All right, man. I'm gonna be a rapper one day. Oh yeah, I used to be a rapper. Yeah. I don't rap no more. Okay, I don't rap no more. I used to rap, y'all. When they heard it from the apostles, got mad and they got hostile as possible. You don't like me because I'm preaching the gospel. I used to be a rapper, y'all. Anyway, I love y'all. That was Romans, the 3rd chapter. Coles and I, you know, Mattiyahu and I was on the phone with a dear sister, and we had to deal with Romans, the 3rd chapter today. So I figured, why not teach on it? Why not teach on it? Hallelujah. That's what's up, sis. You already know what it is. You already know. Right on, Brianna. You know we love you. We love all y'all. Thanks for hanging out. In fact, let's pray out. Spirit of the Most High, we love you. Thank you for this opportunity to congregate in your presence. Continue to illuminate us, quicken us, make us alive. But give us more of your word. Give us more of your word. We need your word, and we cherish the word we heard. Hallelujah. Save us, save us, save us. I speak a special blessing on Barbara. Spent her birthday with you, and she's so attentive to the truth of your word, so submissive and humble. So I speak a blessing on her, anointing her even the more. Shocker. Put the word in her mouth like never before. Take her higher in you. Bless everybody is out there on the sound of my voice even right now. Raise them in you. Raise them in you. We love you. Hand out gifts. Hand out gifts to those that will receive the responsibility that's associated with the gift, even right now. Hand it out right now and sanction it and ordain it in your children that we'll run this race, this last leg of the race in these last evil days. People will see our good works and magnify our Father which is in heaven. Now keep us by your keeping power. Be careful, give you the praise and honor, not only now but forever. In the matchless name of Yahushua, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I'm on. That was the lesson for today. I pray we all continue to obey everything the Most High say. Okay? Okay. Okay. All right. Get real talk. I love each and every one of y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all stay encouraged. You definitely encouragement to me. Thank everybody to push the share button, sharing your platforms with the truth of the word. Thank everybody that tag. That's the new way of witnessing. Danielle, I'm trying to tell you, man. Keep holding it down for the young people, young lady. May the Most High continue to bless you and drip anointing on your life, cause you to be a leader, even right now in Yahushua's name. Again, I love y'all. Y'all continue to pray for me as I pray for you. Y'all be Baruch and Shalom. I'm gone.